for the perfect summer escape, look no further. We are taking you to Malibu in the 80s with 4 sexy siblings and their legendary singer dad.
It's a juicy summer read, and it's my latest book club pick called Malibu Rising from New York Times bestselling author Taylor Jenkins Reid. Hi, Taylor.
Taylor.
How are you?
Well, it's good to see you. We want to just pop up first. You got some book club love. You have a fan club. They've got questions for you, and they're all there on the big wall. But it's great to see you.
Yes.
Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, we're so happy you're here, and I have to tell you. So I
She's on
read
the
this book.
Yes.
I couldn't put it down. And it's all the things. It's a party. It's sexy, like Hoda said, but also it's about siblings and sibling love. And I don't know if you've ever read this article by Frank Bruni in the New York Times, The Gift of a Sibling, but that's why I chose it, because it's really about this connection. And what made you want to write about that?
You know, I really wanted to write about an unconventional family structure. I wanted to write about the value of families that have different shapes. And so these siblings, you know, they don't have a relationship with their dad. They've lost their mom. But these 4 siblings have each other's backs. They have this incredible bond, and that makes them a family.
Yeah, and researching something like that, you have to get it just right. Like, it's one of those that if you don't really know what that is like, you could almost turn into something else. So how did you research to know you were going to be authentic in that storyline?
You know, well, I'm fortunate that I have a brother who is, you know, one of my best friends, and we've been through a lot together, and we have a really wonderful bond, and I'm very grateful for him. And in general, he's also very cool in a way that and so he is very helpful in writing these. I mean, the Rivas are a much cooler family than me.
They're really cool, but also Malibu in the 80s. Like, how did you get that? And also this kind of epic party. Did you research parties? I mean, it sounds like fun.
Yeah. I researched all of it, and it was some of the most fun research I've done in my career. Who doesn't want a reason to go to Malibu or study the 80s? What was really cool about this in particular was that I got the idea from a real life party. There was a party in the Hamptons in 1963. It was a pre-debutante ball that after the adults left, the kids just went crazy in this beach house, and they pulled the chandelier from the wall, and they broke the windows, and they threw the furniture onto the beach. And I remember reading about it years ago when an article came out about it, and I thought, well, that's just a great idea.
Okay, let's get to a question from one of our Read with Jenna Book Club members. The first question is from Rachel Shimblee. She's from Seattle, Washington. Rachel, what's your question?
It's so nice to meet you all. And Taylor, I love your writing, and I've read several of your books. I noticed in Malibu Rising and in some of your other novels that you often portray the less glamorous and the more human side of fame, and I wondered why this theme interests you.
Thank you, and thank you for reading my books. I write about fame a lot, and the reason why I do that is because I think anytime fame comes into somebody's life, any famous person, immediately they're put in a box. The audience has an expectation for who they are, their behavior, how they should act based on how other people in similar fields to them act. And I'm really interested in that moment in which who they're supposed to be starts feeling constraining, and they start, you know, elbowing against the confines of that box. I think it's a really fun way to talk about societal limitations and structures. And it's way more fun to talk about it with famous people than in everyday life. But I do think even in everyday life, we face those.
Oh, well, Taylor, thank you so much. And all of you all that read with me, thank you for reading. Taylor has some recommendations, too. We don't have time, but we're going to put them all on our website. And you can find Malibu Rising and Taylor's book recommendations at today.com/shop. And tomorrow, I hope all of y'all will join and ask the questions you didn't get to. I'm going to get to hang out with Taylor on my Read with Jenna Instagram Live starting at 11:15 Eastern. So bring all the questions.
Yeah, you know who should bring your question? Elisa Henry from Columbus, Ohio. So we're gonna have her.
And we're going to announce the July Read with Jenna pick next Tuesday. June 29th.
Coming up next, as promised, we're going to head back to Jill Bauer's house for the rest of her easy breezy cleaning products. Can't wait. Coming up after this.